All right, folks. So I went and bought a Marshall Super Lead M202. I don't know if that's the. Anyway, this is the hand wired 1959 reissue 100-watt Super Lead. I got the amp and immediately it was really fizzy sounding and kind of harsh highs, kind of brittle, and just I did not like it. It was reminiscent of the ones that I've had in the past, real ones that I've had, because I had a 68 100-watt super tremolo that sounded like just beautiful. This has characteristics of that amp, but it just didn't cut it. It was just anemic in a sense. Anyway, not really happy with it. So what I did was I started off. I have all these new old stock parts. I put these mustard caps in here, and I put some carbon comp resistors. And so all these new old stock. And I did that. I also put real mullards. These are RCAs, but these are mullards. So these are really all nice, really high quality new old stock tubes. So what I've and that improved the amp incredibly. It sounds much better with the tubes and the capacitors and the new components on the board, but still it is lacking. And so what I've decided to do was I'm going to change out the output transformer. So I got me a Mercury magnetics replacement. This is the Axiom M1959HW-O. I guess that's output. So hand wired output. Mercury magnetics. I like to snip the wires, right? But leave the color. So here we go. This is always kind of scary when you snip a wire that, oh yeah, there's no going back now. See how I left the white there, so you know you won't forget what color goes where. So this red wire here, I'm gonna snip that. Here it goes. I'm not snipping anything else. No. Oh, oh no. I'm always like, oh no, that was the wrong wire. No, I'm right. And then I'm gonna snip this brown one right here. This brown one right here. Leave a little bit on there and leave a little bit on that brown one. Oh God. Okay, brownie's done. Brownie's done. There's brownie. Okay. Now I'm gonna snip all the wires off of the I've kind of pulled this so it'll be easier to solder. So I've pulled this off so I can twist it, right? And expose the wires, because it's easier to solder this way. But anyway, I'm going to snip all those. You get the idea. And I'm going to leave. And this orange one is the common. So this would be brown. See, this one's orange. on the diagonal. But if you look here, this will correspond to this wire right here. So this is the orange wire on the diagonal. So I'll be putting a brown wire right there. Anyway, I'm gonna snip all these now. You don't need to see that, but basically that's what I do. Just leave the color there so you know what went where. All right, there's no turning back now. All right, so this is the Marshall Diagonal C1998 reissue. I don't think it's anything like the originals. Their originals were different color. You can tell right off the bat that they have a different look to them. Okay, I've got the Mercury Magnetics 8.1 pounds. Let's see what the other one. Diagonal. Here's the diagonal. Ooh, it's lighter. Look at that. Just by a little bit, but it is lighter. So the Mercury Magnetics is heavier than the diagonal. I wonder if it's because of these steel laminates. And if you notice, the laminates on these are they're different. Okay, so I've fed the wires somewhat through the holes here. Since this has 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, the braces, and that's probably why they do that, the braces from the stock transformer won't fit on here, so I'm just gonna do it old school into the chassis. These holes, for the most part, line up. They're not like exact, but I guess it'll do. So now I'm gonna bolt it down, see what happens. Okay, look what I did. Getting these through the chassis and the nuts on the other side, all 4 of these, was a real pain in the ass, because look here, the board's here, and then you got all your, so I had to, see that nut there, I got that on there, and these guys right here, right there, that one, and then that one. Oh my God. Anyway, all 4 are on there, they're real snug. Look at all these wires hanging out here. So next is to hook up all the wires, and then. All right, so I was confused because the diagonal has red, white, and brown wires, but they are not the same designation as a Mercury Magnetics. So I have called them, basically the center tap on the Mercury Magnetics, the center tap is white, so that's gonna go to the standby switch. And the brown and the red are gonna go to the tubes. The diagonal, the brown, went to the standby switch, and the white and red were on the tubes. So on the diagonal, I couldn't find the schematic. So the diagonal would have brown where the white is if they had it schematic, and the red and white would be the tube. So anyway, that was good to know. Something that if you are installing your Mercury Magnetics transformer into the super lead, you will avoid a mistake. Okay, here we go. Check it out. So this was the brown wire from the diagonal. So this is the center tap wire, and it's white. So I very neatly, I put a little zip tie there, and so I attached it to the standby. And then the brown wire, see the brown wire, I ran to pin 8. And the red wire, I ran to pin 8. And this is valve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the red goes to pin 8, valve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the brown wire goes to pin 8 on valve 6. So I need to put the board back down and put the nuts, the little teeny nuts on there. But you can see here I put all the secondary wires. Black was 4 ohms, 8 ohms. Green was 16 ohms. Put the brown wire right here. That used to be orange. I believe that's the common, right? So I did the install. All right, here it is. First fire up. Let's see how she sounds. I would say it definitely has more string clarity. I noticed that it has less bass than it did before, but it's got more mids, and it's got a more clear sound. It's not as fizzy. It did take care of some of the problems. Still doesn't sound like my 1968 original Marshall, but it's way, way, way closer. Close enough that I think I'm going to keep it and just call it a day. I'm done.